move fast and break things is obviously like the famous motto at Facebook. Everyone knows that one. Did you have like a favorite experiment that you ran during your time at Facebook? Was anything that
Yeah,
stuck out?
absolutely. Oh, so many. And the funny part about that one was, in the early days, it was sort of this radical, like, don't be afraid to break things, which I mentioned in a recent podcast around how that was a really empowering culture, right? Of like, you don't have to be a senior leader, you don't have to be some kind of department head or manager to just come up with good ideas and execute against them. And I really just love that era and that culture that I know Mark's working to bring back. One of the interesting things when we were doing this original segmentation exercise, I still remember, it was called ASTS. And it was about, the classic thing would be, let's go get the biggest spenders and put them with the highest powered, most experienced sales and account management people, right? But in our industry, we realized, well, hold on, the most high powered or high spending advertisers or clients at the time weren't the P&Gs and Walmarts and Nikes and fill in the blanks. They were the folks like Zynga and Living Social or Groupon or some of these performance advertisers. And the classic thing would have been, okay, we'll put them with the, high touch reps who are going to take the most care of them. Except when you think about traditional advertising, right? Those folks don't need a, really cool creative program. They don't need to go to Super Bowl games or being taken out to steak dinners. They needed great access to the platform. They needed optimization from account managers who knew how to go drive efficient installs of apps on the platform. And funny enough, we actually started realizing, hold on, it's not about putting the biggest advertisers just with the most experienced sales reps. Segmentation's not just about the dollars. It was about, what is the specialization of this mid-market org, this sort of inside outside, call it national sales org, that was really good at working in certain core competencies that were not, the traditional media sales reps. And so we actually decided to profile some of these accounts differently rather than just pure spend, which in a lot of worlds is not what you would expect out of a segmentation exercise, right? And it ended up working really well because that team that had the specialization of how to optimize business, how to account manage, how to work across Facebook to the platform org, to the product org, to build the right ad units, to make sure they had the right API access. That team really unlocked the potential of those clients and those advertisers in a way that the classical ad sales rep simply wasn't going to be able to do. So that was a really cool experiment that I think was well founded. And obviously over time, we had to be smart around, well, that served us well. But as we built more vertical expertise, as we built more industry expertise, to have the confidence to say, hey, you know what? We're going to go recut and resegment based off industries first, not based off of this like service level capabilities of the teams, because we wanted to push ourselves and push ourselves to build that expertise, to build that specialization of how different industries should be leveraging the platform. And so even before we truly had, this is the right narrative an automaker should be using on the platform, or this is the right narrative that a B2B software company like Salesforce should be using on the platform. As soon as we started having those semblances of expertise and learnings and best practices, we created a bold bet and said, let's go after this and see if we can segment and therefore challenge ourselves to build better vertical offerings, which I think ended up happening, but was really scary at the time, right?
Yeah, it's an amazing story because I feel like for Facebook building up this go-to-market function, like the incentives are so aligned with the platform and the advertisers, right? The more the advertisers see success on the platform, the more money they're spending. So it's really interesting to hear, okay, as you build up the expertise and you sort of educate the users, they get more results, so they spend more money and it's a win-win for everybody. They're happy, they're acquiring more people. Facebook's happy because you're spending more ad dollars. Yeah, it's a really interesting story.